right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It is time for damage control, but Joe Reichel is not here. If you ever see the damage control vehicle, you see three handsome young men. In the studio is the taller of the three handsome young men, Mike Sobieski, and he's going to answer your questions today about your damaged homes, and perhaps maybe it's not damaged. Perhaps you just want to have a remodeling job done, or maybe there is some damage. You're not really thinking you need a professional. Maybe you're thinking you can do it yourself, but you need a little tip. Maybe what kind of tool, what kind of glue, who knows what you got going over there, or what you can do to fix it. Mike Sobieski is here to answer your questions about that. And let me make sure Mike's mic is on. Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good to see you in the studio again.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
It's been a long time. When you guys first started the show, it was kind of a duo. You and Joe would come in, and you kind of backed off and let Joe do it. So where's Joe right now?
He's up north with his family.
We saw a picture of him in Maine.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay. Yeah.
So that's a long way away.
Yeah. Well, good. It's good to get out, especially this time of year. It must be fun because
I'm sure it's beautiful.
Such a drastic change in the temperatures, right?
Yeah. I'm sure he's enjoying himself. I know he is because I haven't heard too much from him, so he must be having a good time.
How many of those vehicles do you have with the wraparound with your picture?
Let's see. With the picture on it, we just got 2.
Okay.
And then we got some with just the standard logos on it. So.
Do you get calls all the time from people just panicking because something has gone awry? The house had a flood, had a tree, had a fire.
Yeah. It's getting more and more regular, which is good business. But yeah, it get quite a bit now. Yeah, we get fires pretty regular now. Floods are probably the most common. But yeah, people are in the I don't know what to do, I need help stage. So that's kind of where we come in and help them out.
I don't know the path and how you guys ended up where you are, but it was a smart decision to take contracting skills and create a niche for people who've had damage. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we think of damage, who do you call? And you kind of don't know. So you've created that niche and filled it, which is usually the formula for success. So
yeah, it's worked out really well for us. Yeah, a lot of the industry, you just do the cleanup, and then they're kind of left with, what do I do after the mess is cleaned up? But that's where we kind of take care of both. We'll come in, do the remediation, fix the damage, and then we'll actually repair it and get you back into your house too. So that's where we kind of fill the hole from start to finish.
Do you know, on Mondays, yesterday, one of the regular hosts is Matt Gibbs, who has a car dealership as well as a repair shop. And one of his listeners called something. I wanted to apply it to what you do. He was asked, how do I get the cigarette smoke out of a used car that I bought? Okay, that was his, and he had a device he used called the ionizer or something. Mm-hmm. Do you guys use something? If a house is a huge area, I mean, so much. Yes. How do you get this? That's kind of a unspoken of damage, but that's damaged, isn't it? I mean,
yes, cigarette smoke is probably one of the hardest to actually get out of a home or vehicle, just because it penetrates into everything as a residue, and it's very difficult. You pretty much have to pull out carpets. There's no way to clean them. It just is always something that's left. But yeah, we use the technology similar to that. It's either a hydroxyl machine, which will take out the odors in the air, along with cleaning solutions, doing a wipe down. So a lot of it's manual. You have to hand clean it. And then you use some air purifying equipment to come in. So yeah, it can be done. It just takes a lot longer with cigarette smoke as opposed to a house fire. Yeah.
Do you know, just bringing the Ebola stories into this discussion, I remember some time ago, Joe had a guest that you guys work with, and he had some kind of a device that was able to not just make the air smell better, but literally clean it, disinfect it or something.
Yeah, it's a complete disinfecting and sanitizing system that we have. So yeah, it works on pretty much every known virus, bacteria, mold, anything like that. So it takes care of all that. So it's one of those things that Ebola is a new one. Yeah, it's not new in the world, but it's new over here. So it's kind of got the attention of everybody now. But yeah, it's just as effective on that as any other virus that's out there. So it's something that we have in place in case it comes to the area. We're able to take care of it and get on that. So
if a daycare or some place where there's a lot of children, or maybe a hospital, they're very, very concerned about there being some kind of germs left behind that You know, so you could actually, is it a device that just wheels into the room? How's that work?
Yeah, it's basically, it's a portable device. One man can carry it. So we bring it in, we set it up, do the protocol for what we got to do to secure the room. And then it's a fogging device. It's a hydrogen peroxide type of a fogging, the Sanasil solution. So you go in, you set it up, you fog the area, and then depending on the cubic foot of the room, it's completely sanitized by the timer we set. So, and it's done when we leave. You're completely free of any kind of germs, bacterias, viruses, anything like that. But it gets into every area, like even under the desks, in drawer. You open up the doors, everything like that. So all the door handles, everything is taken care of. So it's one of those things where it kind of eliminates a lot of the manual labor. So it kind of
scrubbing.
Yeah.
So does it leave any smell or any residue itself?
No residue at all, because it's a hydrogen peroxide. So its base, it basically dissipates. Once it's done, it goes away. There's no film, nothing on the wall. So it's a really neat, a really nice product to be able to use, and we use it on all of our mold jobs as well when we go in and clean.
Oh, really?
Yep, every one of them.
Because it kills mold?
Yep.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, so it kills it. It's safer for the workers, too. So we go in there, we kill it. We hit it with a fog when we first go in there, and then we hit it just before, a cleanse or the testing, the post-test. That way we know everything's clean, and then we scrub the air, and that way even all the dead spores, they're out and clean, so everything's done. Yeah, it's a really neat technology.
The phone lines are open, and Mike Sobieski is here to answer your questions. Maybe you've got something that requires a professional. He can help take you by the hand and let you figure out how to get back to normal, whatever has been damaged. Or maybe you're trying to fix something yourself and you need a little do-it-yourself advice, what kind of tool to use. The number is 622-9622. If you're familiar with the show, you're familiar with Joe Reichel, who hosts the show normally. He's somewhere up there. We think he's in Maine.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him on Facebook posing with a statue, I think, of a moose. Didn't look like a real moose, but...
Yeah, I hope not.
I'm not
get that close to
I'm not so. Would a moose be dangerous? I don't know.
Yeah, at times they can be very dangerous. Yeah.
Are you from up north?
No.
You grew up here?
In Ocala, raised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, born and raised.
When you see something like the Sprint building being gutted right now, that's the last thing I saw in the paper was they're gutting it. I assume that gutting something is not the same as damaging it. But is it the same thing as, like, do you create, like, do you have to demolish sometimes before you can fix?
Oh yeah, most of the time. If there's something that has been damaged, there's whether it's caused by mold or fire, there's always something that you're going to have to, unless it's just a smoke, you're going to have to remove something. So you're going to have to take something out, and so you're damaging. To clean, it's kind of a cleaning up. We don't go in and damage things. So we basically go in. It's called a cleanup. So we'll go in, remove all the damaged. So yeah, there is a lot of demo. Sometimes it's extensive, where you gotta, if it's a, sewage or flood, something like that through the house, and you're cutting all the drywall, flooring, you got to take everything out.
I'm guessing the homeowner sometimes says, "Oh man, you don't got to go that far," but you do, right? It's kind of like with a doctor with cancer, not to compare it to the worst disease we can imagine, but usually with the doctor with cancer, they take more than you realize is necessary, but it is necessary.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most people don't know the extent of things. They can't see how far water goes up the wall, or they can't see how if it's sewage or smoke gets behind the walls or things like that, where you can't leave it there because it's now a health hazard. Yeah. So you actually have to take it out, and that's where our training, going to school classes, helps us to understand the different issues you face. So then we have to take that knowledge and apply it to the homes.
Mike Sobieski is here from Damage Control Services, and he is here to answer your questions. Your calls are invited. 622-WOCA is the phone number, 622-9622. We do need to take a little break, Mike. We've got a weather forecast in a couple of spots, and we'll be right back with Mike Sobieski from Damage Control Services.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sun followed by clouds today. Breezy, warm and humid with a high of 85 to 89. Look for a shower and heavy thunderstorm mainly during the afternoon hours. Tonight, mostly cloudy, warm and humid with a shower and thunderstorm around those 70 to 74. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine with a brief shower or two, the high in the upper 70s to the mid-80s. Thursday, mostly sunny and pleasant, high 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today. Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's return to Mike Sobieski. The program is called Damage Control. Mike, of course, is with Damage Control Services. Joe Reichel out for today. He's up in Maine, I think. And so Mike came in from Damage Control. Mike is one of the three handsome young man you see on the images of Damage Control Services. He's the tall one, and
I'm the middle one.
Oh, you're the middle one.
Yeah, I'm the middle one.
Oh, you're the middle one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rob.
Rob is the tall one.
He's got about another inch or so.
Oh, okay. Well, you look alike.
Yeah.
Or is it just me?
We get that. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that a lot. Okay. Let's go to the phone. I want you to tell us what you told us before, but first during the break. What you told me. But I want to take a phone call first. Good morning. You're on there with Mike Sobieski.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I have a problem. First off, do you know what a composite roof is that's put on a screen room?
Yes.
Okay, you know what it is. 3
Yes.
inches thick, styrofoam in the middle, skin on both sides, aluminum.
Correct.
Okay, the planks are 4 feet wide. They're tongue and groove. I had one put on my screen room 13 years ago, and it's been fine. I paid $2,500 to have it put on. You can walk on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now my insurance company was just bought out, and a new insurance company come, and they inspected it and said it's unacceptable. The tar paper is cracked. Well, the 13-year-old caulk is cracked above the seam. There's 4 seams. Every 4 foot, there's a seam.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But it's never leaked. They say it's unacceptable. It has to be tore off, or they won't insure me.
We hear that a lot as far as roof goes for insurances. A lot of times they'll have us come out and do inspections for them as well, just to double check or write a letter saying it's okay or not. Typically with those, the caulking and the sealing on those roofs will last only so long, especially in the Florida sun. So they do have to get, they either put that sticky tape across those joints to seal up the joints, or have somebody come out and redo the sealant, that silicone bead again. They just want to do that just so there's not an issue of leaking in the future. They just look at it as a possible problem. So that's
Could
probably.
I hire you guys to come out and caulk it and write me a letter?
Yeah, that's no problem. You can give us a call, off the air. Call my phone or the number that we'll give you at the end of the show, and we'll come out and take a look at it for you. That's no problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
All right, that was an interesting question. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What is the number right now? We'll do it again at the end. So if he's listening right now.
Yeah, the number is it's 352. 622-5135 is our office line.
All right. Well, that's the kind of questions we love. So if you have a similar question or something along the lines, call right now. Mike is here to answer those questions, 622-9622. And I think you made a good decision to call you guys to come out. That's something that is not a do-it-yourself kind of project.
Yeah, that can be kind of... it's you got to clean it properly if you're going to put the tape across it, or if you're going to glue it. You can't just put the glue or the caulking in there because it will just come out again if the old stuff's already separating. So there's some prep work that you got to do. Yeah.
And you have another phone call, Mike. Good morning. Okay. You're on the air. Thank you for calling.
Yes. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I've got a little different kind of a question here. I've got a sidewalk adjacent to part of a driveway that's buckling and settling. I come from up north. Mudjacking is very popular up there because of the fact that there's a lot of clay in the ground, and it supports mudjacking. Here we got all sand. What could be done to straighten that sidewalk out and lift part of that driveway back up?
Okay, because I guess it kind of depends on what you have underneath the ground as far as how to get it back. We don't do any concrete lifting. I know there are companies out there that we've used in the past that will lift concrete back up in place. They have different systems for that. You have to. Yeah, usually I'll turn it over to them as far as because they'll lift concretes and different foundations and things like that. I don't personally. Go ahead.
A mud material like they would up north because of the clay soil, or do they just use concrete, push that in the ground?
There's a couple different applications. Yeah, they could get underneath it, open it up, kind of support it, and then concrete underneath it. Some there's type of they do a foam injection type of thing where the foam expands and then lifts the ground up as well. So there's a couple different, just depending on the situation, what type of ground is underneath there. It could be that, what's the reason why it's caving in is what you want to kind of find out as well. Is it was it an old stump that was there that's rotting out and now the ground is sinking? Is it, unstable soil that's kind of washing away for some reason? So there's a couple things you want to get somebody just to look at it, and then that would determine the direction you would need to go, really.
Yeah, you could direct me to somebody that could help me on that problem, right?
Yeah, sure. You can, like I said, you can just give us a call offline. We can get you somebody to give you a call on that.
Okay, will do. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Do most of these jobs that the people would be describing have either you guys or somebody else that would come out and give an estimate? And what is involved with an estimate? Do you pay for an estimate?
No, we do all free estimates. So we basically just go out. We do from real small jobs like the gentleman with the screen room, go out, seal it up, do a little inspection write up to huge loss, complete fire damage. But yeah, we do. Whether it's a homeowner or an insurance company, we go out and give the estimates, free estimates either way. We go from there. Yeah.
You mentioned the fire during the break. You told me about a fire that you're trying to help out the folks who live there. What happened again?
Yeah, it was a kitchen fire, which that's probably one of the higher. You get the most calls for kitchen fires, but yeah, it was guess they were working around their home doing some stuff, and they accidentally, I guess, turned the oven or the switch for the stove, the top on, and they had something on just sitting on there, kind of. They were just working, so they had things setting on it. Kind of just caught that on fire while they were outside. And fortunately, they were home. They heard the alarms go off, and they were able to get in, and they pulled the fire extinguisher out, which was good. A nice tip for everybody to have one on hand in your home.
I know.
Because
I keep thinking I should get one.
Yeah, if they didn't, that home probably would have been almost completely gone if they didn't have the fire extinguisher. So they were able to put it out themselves, which was good. You don't want to suggest anybody going into a burning fire, if it's out of control, but it was sizable enough to where they could still handle it. So you got to be careful with that. But having a fire extinguisher definitely saved their house. So it's basically a kitchen, and it did smoke out pretty much the whole house. So we got to do a lot of cleaning. So cleaning their contents and then fixing the kitchen. But it was a lot better than burning their house down completely. So.
Wow.
So yeah, they were prepared for something. So that's a tip that I'd give everybody is to have a fire extinguisher somewhere accessible in the kitchen. So that'd be a good thing to have as a homeowner.
By the way, if I could mention, kind of as a almost like a public service announcement, on November 2nd we turn the clocks back. That's when it's recommended that you change the batteries in your smoke alarm. Ocala Fire Rescue issued a statement. They do this every 6 months, I guess, every time we change the time, that they actually have free. I don't know if you have to do something to qualify, but they do give away smoke alarms, and they install them. You just call them up, ask them the details. I don't really know the details.
Yep.
Have you heard about that program?
Yeah, I've heard about similar stuff. So that's good. Anything you can take advantage of to keep you and your family safe and to prevent any disasters or damage from happening. That's really the most important thing. So always you want to be prepared rather than thinking back and saying if I had only had the batteries checked or a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Or turn my water off when I left town. If I only done. So these are the little things you want to kind of think of before an accident happened. That would prevent us from having to be at your house.
Yeah, right. In other words, you need the work, but you don't want.
Right. We don't want to see people go through. Things
but
that
at
they
least
don't
you're there
need
to help.
Yeah, right.
Now, do you have do you have a lot of people calling just simply for remodeling? There's been no damage, but they're just ready to change the kitchen or something.
Yeah. Right now, we're dealing with several projects where it's just strictly remodeling, whether it's kitchens or bathrooms. Those have been pretty big right now. We do quite a bit of kitchen remodelings. So those have been probably the most popular. Right now, but we do, full additions. We got a couple we're in the works on now, so it's that's definitely picking up right now.
This is probably going to be a dumb question, but can you move a bathroom? If the plumbing is there and you want the bathroom to be on the other side of the house, can you do that, especially if it's a concrete foundation?
There are ways to do it. A lot of it will depend also on your budget, because if it's a concrete slab, that's a little more difficult. If it's up on a wood foundation, a wood floor system, you can pretty much do whatever you want there because you can run the plumbing under the house.
Pipes out and
just move them.
But
concrete can be cut. It can be moved. It's just logistics. It becomes that thing of logistics at that point.
Really? Can you add a bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's the same story. Like if you're changing your house into like a 2-family house or something, you add a bathroom.
Yeah, typically we'll try to stay close to where the plumbing is in the house. You don't want to add it to where there's absolutely no plumbing or no drain because it becomes really unrealistic to get it over there. But
Wow, the time went quick, Mike. Before we run out of time, mention the phone number again so that the listeners can look you up. And you have a website as well?
Okay, www.damageflorida.com. That's our website.
Okay.
And our office line is 352-622-5135.
DamageFlorida.com. I don't think I've ever checked that. DamageFlorida.com?
Yeah.
All right. And is that how we get a hold of you, too? Is through there?
Yeah, you can contact us through that page as well, and we'll respond through the email or give you a phone call, whichever you prefer.
Wow. Yeah, real quickly, I mentioned something to you that I discovered in my stove, which was the fact that little roaches were getting into the electronic component and doing something to turn on the oven when I didn't want it on. So I took it apart, sprayed it, got rid of them, and now I just turned it off at the circuit breaker. Because smart. I was told that the roaches are attracted to electricity. I'm just going to get an old-fashioned stove. I think this electronic stuff is just driving me nuts.
Get an old wood-burning stove.
Well, not that old-fashioned. It was just a switch. You turn it on, you turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, it was nice having you in here today.
Yeah, it was nice being in here.
Thank you for coming in.
Yep.
It was better than doing a rerun. I was thinking we had to do a rerun today.
No, I figured I would at least come in and experience it with you, so I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. And call us here at the station if you need to have the phone number repeated for damage control services. We do have it here. Plus, Robin puts it up on Facebook every week. Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The World Health Organization warns the Ebola crisis could kill many more people if the response is not stepped up.